Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Introduction to Microeconomics at Ozarka College. Today what I'm going to do is kind of give you a little introduction to this class, just to kind of get you started in the right direction. Mostly what I'm going to do today in this video is go over the course syllabus with you, which is a very important document that you need to make sure you read through and understand before you get started with the activities for this course. All right, and then after I do that, I'll also go ahead and show you a little bit about the activities page and kind of remind you of what's going to be coming up due here pretty soon. Okay, all right. So first thing is, when you log into myOzarka and you click on this particular course link for microeconomics, first thing you're going to see is the announcements page, or kind of the introductory page that has information about the course at the top, and then it has any announcements that I posted to the class right below that. Also, you'll notice there are links on the left-hand side of the page, navigation links that allow you to navigate to various parts of the course page or the course website. And so let's go ahead and get started with the syllabus here. And we'll just kind of start at the top and kind of work our way down. Some parts of the syllabus I'm not going to go over in very much detail, or maybe not at all. I'm just going to let you read through. But the important parts, the parts that I really want you to pay attention to, are the parts that I'm going to kind of go over in this video. Okay. First thing you'll notice on the top of the syllabus there is, of course, it has information about this course, basic information there. Also, right below that, it has information about me, my name, my contact information. And, of course, like I said before, my name is Stephen Baltz, and I have taught this particular course, this economics course, this microeconomics course, just about every semester of the 25 years that I've taught at Ozarka. So I've got a lot of experience teaching the course, and I really enjoy teaching this course. And I hope that as we get started in the course and work our way through it, I hope that you'll find it enjoyable as well. I think you will, but like I said, I really enjoy teaching this class. I get a lot out of it myself as an instructor. Even though I've taught it many times, I still learn new things every semester, and it's always good to kind of interact with my students in this class. We have a lot of good discussions, so I'm really looking forward to it, and hopefully you are as well. All right, so basically my information there, just kind of read through that. Has my email, my office phone, but probably the best way to contact me if you have a question about this particular course is using course mail over here on the left-hand side of the page. And any of you that have had a previous online class with us, you know how to use course mail already. But basically, course mail is just a email portion of the myOzarka page that allows you to email your instructor and ask questions, or any kind of correspondence that you need to have with the instructor. You can do that through course mail. Okay. Also, it has my office hours there. Of course, that is only really going to be applicable to those of you that are on the Mountain View campus or close to it, because that's where my office is. But you can, if you want, if you feel like you need to meet with me through Google Meet, we can set that up at any time. So if you want to meet with me online in an online meeting through Google Meet, just let me know, and we'll get that set up and schedule that. And I'll send you a link to the meeting and so forth, and we can do that at any time. So just let me know. Let's see. So right below my contact information on the syllabus is the course description, rationale, and outcomes for the course. And those three things are very closely tied together. So I'm going to kind of talk about them all at one time here. But basically, in this class, we're going to learn about the individual markets in the economy. That's what microeconomics is the study of. It's basically looking at economics kind of through a microscope and looking at not just the aggregate market, the whole market like you would learn about in macroeconomics, but in this course we're looking at the economy kind of through a microscope and looking at individual markets like the labor market and product market and so forth, and even within each of those looking at individual markets within those as well. And so we're looking at basically in microeconomics, we're looking at how decision makers in the economy make decisions, whether it's households, businesses, governments. We're looking at how those individual decision makers make decisions about how to use their scarce resources to satisfy their unlimited wants. And that's basically the basic economic problem that kind of creates the need to study economics and to have a whole field of economics, whether it's macro or micro, or you're looking at both at the same time. It really doesn't matter. The basic point of economics is we're trying to figure out how we as humans allocate our scarce resources in an attempt to satisfy our unlimited wants. That there's a basic economic problem there because there's this major discrepancy between the resources that we have and the wants that we have. Okay, and so because of that, we have to make economic decisions. We have to make decisions that are best for us as individuals to get the most from our resources that we have. Okay, and so that's basically what we're going to be studying about in this course. So in addition to basic economic decision making, we'll also look at demand and supply analysis that determines prices in a market. We'll also look at consumer choice and utility. We'll look at production and cost in the firm, how producers make decisions as far as how much labor to hire, how much to produce in order to maximize their profit. All right. And then towards the end of the semester, we'll also learn about various market structures and how pricing is determined in those various markets. And then we'll also look at resource markets. So a lot of the course is going to be focused on product markets, but towards the end of the course, we will look at the other side of the equation, which is the resource markets. All right. So the basic rationale for taking a class like this is that we all have to make economic decisions every day because of that basic economic problem that I just described. And because of that, it's good to understand that those decisions more and what goes into those decisions and the kind of the economy as a whole and also how individual markets work, because it makes us a better economic decision maker. Also, it allows us to kind of understand the world, the world of economics and all the things that go into it, whether it's inflation or prices and all kinds of things, unemployment. All those things are kind of tied together into if we know more about those topics, then we are a more informed citizen and we can make, again, better choices. Okay, so hopefully that was a good kind of description of what we're going to be learning about this semester. But if you have any questions about that, if you're still not sure what microeconomics is and what we're going to be doing, then just let me know and I'll be glad to explain it further. But I think most of you probably understand that just by kind of reading through those three sections. Okay, so just let me know if you have questions about that. All right, the next part of this syllabus shows the textbook required materials. And just hold on just a minute. I've got a copy of the textbook that I can show you. This is what our textbook looks like right here. Okay, it's called Microecon 6. All right, and it shows the ISBN number and the author and so forth there on the syllabus. Just make sure that wherever you get your textbook, whether it's in the college bookstore or some other source, just make sure that you verify through the ISBN number that you're getting the correct textbook. It's very critical that you have the correct textbook for this class. Okay, so just kind of make sure of that. If you have any questions about the textbook, just let me know. All right, next part of the syllabus is the methods of instruction. On this, I'm just going to let you read through it because it's basically the same basic methods of instruction that you would see in most online courses. You know, you're going to have some assignments, you're going to have some videos and reading assignments that you're going to have to do in order to answer the assignment questions. You're going to have some discussions. You're going to have some exams and tests. And so just kind of read through that. Let me know if you have any questions. And then the next section is probably one of the most important, if not the most important part of the syllabus, which is the evaluation procedures. Because this is where I describe how your grade in this course is going to be determined. All right? And so carefully read through this section because it is extremely important that you understand how your grade is going to be determined in this class. All right? So for this particular class, we've got basically 5 things that are going to determine your grade. You're going to have assignments, discussions, chapter test, a midterm exam, and a final exam. Okay? And right below where it gives you kind of list all those 5 things and the percentage that each one represents of your your course grade, right below that it kind of gives a short description of what each one of those is going to entail. All right, and I'm not going to go into a huge amount of detail here, but basically the assignments are going to, and I'll show you the assignments on the activities page in just a minute. But the assignments are going to be very typical of what you would see in a concepts course like economics or microeconomics. It's going to be basically you're going to have some reading that you're going to need to do in the textbook. You're going to have some videos to watch that basically discuss the concepts that we're studying for that particular set of chapters in the textbook. And then you will answer questions about those particular concepts. Now, the biggest thing about the assignments is that you need to make sure you're using your own words. This is something I've had some problems with here lately with this course, is there are some students that have used AI and other tools to generate their answers for the assignments, and that is absolutely a violation of the academic integrity policy. Now, that being said, I don't mind you at all. In fact, I encourage you to use AI to just learn more about the concepts that we're studying in the course. But we need to make sure we're using that AI in an ethical way, making sure that we don't violate the academic integrity policy of the college. Because if we do that, if we're basically not putting things in our own words and we're basically using someone else's words in our assignments, then that basically will result in you receiving a 0 on that assignment, and may also result in receiving a F in the course. So be very careful when you're doing your assignments and make sure that you're using your own words. The other thing about assignments is make sure that you're fully answering, completely answering each part of each question. Most of the assignment questions will have multiple parts. And so you'll need to make sure you completely answer each part of each question. All right. On the discussions, basically, I will give you a case study to read that is pertaining to a particular concept that we've studied in the chapters in the textbook, and you will read through that case study, and then you'll have some questions that you need to answer by replying to the discussion board. Okay, and I'll show you where the discussion board is on the course page in just a minute. But basically, on the discussions, it's kind of the same thing with the assignments. You need to make sure you completely answer the questions using your own words. Okay? All right. Next thing that's going to make up your grade are the chapter tests. So, chapter tests are going to consist of multiple choice questions, and they're basically online tests that you can use your book to answer those to help you look up the information. And there's no time limit on chapter tests. And you can also take the test as many times as you want to up until the due date. So those chapter tests are really designed to kind of test your current knowledge of the economic concepts that we've just learned about. And then if you need to kind of take those tests again to kind of better understand those concepts, then you can do that. And those chapter tests are really designed to prepare you for the last two items that will make up your grade, which are the midterm exam and the final exam. Okay? The midterm exam will basically be also multiple choice questions that will cover everything that we've learned about up to the midway point of the semester. And to study for the midterm exam, you'll go back and study the concepts that were covered on the previous chapter test. Okay? And then the final exam will be very similar to the midterm exam, but of course it will cover everything that we've looked at during the course of the semester. Now, on the midterm and final exams, there will be a time limit, so keep that in mind, and you will also just be able to take those tests one time, okay, or those exams one time. So that was just a real quick explanation of what's going to make up your grade, but just read through that and let me know if you have any questions about it, okay? All right, the next part of the course syllabus is the grading scale. And this is just the standard grading scale that you see in most classes. It shouldn't be a surprise to you. It's basically the standard grading scale that most schools use. And so just let me know if you have questions about that. All right, the next part of the course syllabus that I do want to spend just a little bit of time on is the makeup policy. Now, the way that I design my courses and the way that I specify or determine due dates is I try to give you as much time as possible to complete each set of activities. And because I'm giving you plenty of time to complete each set of activities, generally I do not accept makeup work, okay? Now, that being said, if you think you have a special circumstance that warrants, me looking at to determine that maybe you do deserve to be able to make up something, then just send me a course mail and let me know all the details, be as specific as possible, and then I will look at that on an individual basis. But just in general, I do not allow makeup work just because I generally give you plenty of time to get the work completed. Okay? So just let me know if you have questions about that. All right, the next part of the syllabus is the attendance policy. Just read through that. The main thing with an online class is that you need to make sure that you're logging in to the course page in myOzarka at least once a day. Okay? If you're not doing that, then you're not doing your due diligence to make sure that you're staying on track in the class. If you're only accessing the page, course page once a week, or once every couple of weeks, or whatever, or once every 3 or 4 or 5 days, then you're going to miss out on some things that could have helped you to better succeed in the class. And so, just as a general rule, I would say you need to be logging into the course page at least once a day. Okay? So just kind of let me know if you have questions about that. Academic integrity. I've already kind of talked about this quite a bit when I talked about assignments and discussions and the other parts of the things that are going to make up your course grade. So I'm not going to spend any additional time on it, but carefully read through this academic integrity policy on the syllabus, because this is something I feel is very important for my classes, to keep the integrity in my classes. So make sure that you're aware of what academic integrity means by reading through this, and what the results may be if you violate the academic integrity policy. Okay? So just kind of look through that. Let me know if you have questions. The rest of the course syllabus, I'm just going to let you read through, because it's basically the last few things there are going to be the standard things that you see on every course syllabus for every course that you're taking this semester. So I don't see any point in going over each one of those things. You just need to read through those and let me know if you have questions. All right. Now, let's go ahead and go to the activities page in myOzarka. Again, you'll notice all of the things that we can navigate to on the course page are shown as links on the left-hand side of the page here. The very first item is activities. So let's go ahead and click on that. And you'll notice the first week, or actually the way that the activities page is organized is it's organized by week. So it starts off, obviously, week 1, which is the week that we're on right now, of course, and it goes all the way to the end of the semester, which is week 16, which is the week that we'll take our final exam. All right, we'll complete the course. All right, and so everything, all the dates, when everything is due, is under the close, on the close column here of the activities page. So you'll notice for every activity on the activities page, there's an open date. That's just the date that particular activity is open and available for you. And then there's a close date. The close date is basically the due date. All right, so you need to have your work submitted by that close date or due date. Okay, now this first week, you'll notice there's a getting started link under week 1, and there's an introduce yourself discussion. That introduce yourself discussion is just basically this first week of class, you're going to be replying to that introduce yourself discussion. And let me go ahead and click on it so I can show you. On this, when you click on that link to the introduce yourself discussion, you're going to see my message on that discussion, and it's basically just going to give you a little bit of information about me. Basically, I'm sharing some information about myself there, and then also giving you the instructions for what you need to include in your reply to this discussion. Basically, here what I want you to do is reply to this discussion with information that you want to share about yourself to the class. Of course, your name, where you're from, maybe your program that you're working towards, your hobbies, your interests, your career goals, all those things. Anything that you would like to share about yourself with the class, I want you to include in your reply to this discussion. And the whole purpose of this discussion is, since we don't see each other face to face in an online class, this is just a way for us to at least get to know each other a little bit, and that's going to help later on when we do discussions based on concepts that we're learning about. If everybody kind of knows each other just a little bit from this introduce yourself discussion. And I always like to learn more about my students and share more information about myself. In fact, as students reply to this discussion, then I'll also be replying with a little bit of additional information about myself. All right? So that's just a way for us to kind of get to know each other a little bit. All right, so let's go back to the activities page. The only other thing under week 1, oh, and by the way, that introduce yourself discussion is due by Saturday, January 25th. All right, so Saturday, that first week of class, you need to make sure that you have replied to that introduce yourself discussion. All right, the only other thing under week 1 is that getting started activity. So let's go ahead and click on that and see what that has in it. You'll notice this getting started link basically shows some resources that will help you to get started in the class. One of them is the schedule, which is just basically a document that I created in Word that basically has all of the activities from the activities page, just kind of presented in a more printable format so that you can print that out if you want to and put it with your textbook and your other course materials so that you can kind of mark off the activities as you do them. I know some students like to do that and stay organized that way. You don't have to use that schedule. It's just basically the same thing that you see on the activities page. It's just a better formatted document that you can print out and use as a guide and a way to kind of stay on track during the semester. The other two things that you'll see on the Getting Started page is you'll have a link to the syllabus, which is what I just showed you, and then of course there's a link to the textbook so that you can get information about the textbook, which is also on the course syllabus that we just looked at. So this Getting Started page is just basically includes links to other things that are on the course page. It's just basically in a central location, and it includes those things that are very important for you to look through to get started in the class. So you just need to make sure mostly that you get your textbook, the correct textbook, and that you read through the syllabus and understand it. And if you don't understand it, you'll need to let me know that. Okay? All right. Let's go back to activities. So really the only thing that you need to turn in or submit for week 1 is just that introduce yourself discussion. The actual chapter activities, the first set of those is due by Tuesday, January 28th, which will be the second week of class. All right? So there you'll see the chapters 1 and 2 assignment. You'll see the chapters 1 and 2 test and the chapters 1 and 2 discussion. And then finally the chapters 1 and 2 case studies, which is the document that, if you'll remember, I said the discussion will have a case study associated with it that you'll read through to be able to answer the questions for the discussion. So basically those activities for chapters 1 and 2 will be due by Tuesday, January 28th. So as soon as you get your textbook and as soon as you've read through the course syllabus and understand it, you need to go ahead and get started on those chapters 1 and 2 activities. As you're working on those, if you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be glad to help you. Okay? All right. And that's pretty much what I wanted to cover today. So I know it's kind of quick, and I didn't go over every single thing on the syllabus, but again, just let me know if you have any questions about anything I covered today. And like I said, I'll really look forward to teaching this class this semester. Really looking forward to learning a little bit more about each of you, and I'm hoping that you'll enjoy the class as well and get a lot from it, learn a lot from it. And so, like I said, I'm really looking forward to it, so I will see you in the next video. Have a good weekend. Thank you.